I think I'm recording. Alright. So, hello? I'm Charlie. I'm like an amateur Doomfist at best, but I know a lot of mechanics with him and how to outplay opponents. So I'd like to share with you and kind of just refresh myself on exactly what kind of mechanics you can do. And these are going to be advanced mechanics. And when I've seen videos on mechanics with Doomfist, like, if I fucking do this right, they're just gonna do that. They're just gonna do the bounce, but they're not gonna tell you like what's happening or when you press space or when you do something. Right? I'm gonna go in depth for exactly what. If I hit this, I'm gonna go in depth for exactly what you have to do while doing it. So first, you're this is just the it's called like a rocket bounce, I think. You're gonna punch, and it's not gonna be before you get there. It's not going to be like while you're moving off of it. It's going to be like right when you're on it. And then you're going to press space, right click space. Yeah, there you go. You just have to time that. Just get used to that timing. Also, ping could be a factor. So if you have anywhere above like my ping, like 40, like it could be delayed. So you may have to press it early. I think I have to press it a little bit early. Yeah, sometimes I do it right, but it doesn't work out. So, and high ping Doomfist, just don't try it. It's just honestly not a good idea. Mainly because he relies completely on his timing with his abilities. So, the best idea for an engage would be to do a rollout, which I'm going to show you now. Basically, there's some Doomfist can only really work on maps with a lot of things. Basically, a lot of buildings, a lot of tilted, slanted roofs. Usually, is the best idea. I'd recommend just going into custom game and just practicing with this. Turn your meteor strike up. Turn everything up, ultimate duration up, infinite ult, so you can move around to bottom with ultimate ready, sure. Okay, so the easiest map to start practicing on would either be Dorado or Iconwall, which are both, no, they're not both payloads. One of them is a hybrid and the other is a payload. With Doomfist, 2 CP could either be really strong or really bad with him, or any CP. So like Iconwald's first CP, Anubis's 2 CP. Doomfist can work if used properly. So I'm going to show you now some clever rollouts. A lot of people already know rollouts on defense. Sorry that you see the SR game loss thing there. That's just what I set up for stream. A lot of people know already how to do a defensive rollout on this map, or maybe a defensive, just anything on Doomfist, right? You can basically just stand up like on any ledge, right? You can do a blind E, which is an E. You don't look down, you don't look for the blue, because the blue will give you about 60, right? Like 50 to 70 damage. But if you do a blind E and you know where you're gonna go, you can do close to max damage depending on how far you are. At least you would get at least 90 to 125, which 125 is the max. Okay, so the idea here, we're gonna go on attack and show you. There's a couple ways of doing this. You could do this, which is a little unnecessary. It's a cool way of getting over, but yeah, that's a way of getting over that's like secure. Like if you land the bounce off the slanted wall. You can also You can also get around. Basically, you're going to want to get around either up top or over here. You're never going to want to go straight forward. I don't think that's a good idea. Unless you can find a bounce. I doubt this is a bounce right here, but we're going to... Yeah, you can get a bounce up top without using... You don't want to use your uppercut, because your uppercut is really strong. Your uppercut's going to give them... They can't air strafe. What is it? Air stuck. And they're basically not going to be able to move. Even if you uppercut a Pharah, if they use fuel, they still can't move around for like 5 seconds. So like a noob way of doing this would be doing that and then just waiting to see the blue. Go over here. So basically you're going to want to get around either the right or left side. I'll show you how to get around the left side. I think it's, you could either do the one here, wait for 7 seconds, and then do another over here, and then just kind of slide over. And there's another one, a little bit more tricky, I think. What is it? I forgot what it was. Drop this. Nah. Yeah, so just practice those bounces on like random like robots, cars, like really anything you can do a bounce on. So yeah, so the easiest way of doing this is doing one uppercut, waiting 7 seconds. Make sure your team's always being calm. Make sure your team is always listening to what you're gonna want to do. You're gonna want patience with Doomfist, even though he's very aggressive. You're gonna want to slowly take fights and stuff. So wait for the other 7 seconds to fly off that. You don't even need to use an E. Hopefully you're silent coming over here. They're probably going to be fighting there, right? This is where they like to stand a lot. I'm going to show you this is the left entrance or the over the roof here. So there is a way here. I think you could maybe do a bounce. Yeah, you could do a bounce up to this. And then you just wait. Okay, wait. Hold on, let me try the bounce again. If not, okay, hold on. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Okay, I don't want to do the bounce again. Oh god. Burger King foot lettuce. Fuck, dog. Is it here? Maybe. There you go, okay. Okay. Pretty sure you could do like a boom here. So, that took way too long. But, if you get your bounces down, you could attack from here. It's a pretty good hiding spot. I'm pretty sure your body is almost fully covered, if not the tree's covering it. And, people are either going to be hiding here. People as in healers. You're going to want to get a support or a very, very blocky DPS, like a soldier, a Kree, another Doomfist. I don't ever attack another Doomfist, though. So they're either going to be hiding here, 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 which is horrible if there's a Doomfist on your team. You can just destroy them. Or here. So I'm going to show you the rollout you can do here. So if you got over, whether it's over the roof or it's over here, you can do there's two things that you could do. You could do this. I'm going to just tell you how to do it on attack. The best idea is either hit this or hit this. It's probably easier to hit E here, hit their backline. You're going to want to try your hardest to hit behind them, so they have to do a 180 and then start shooting you, rather than like, oh, Zenyatta sees I'm going to charge a right click, and by the time you kill him, you may be 1 HP and you probably can't get out. A good idea is called wall riding, and it's kind of you sit there until your other thing comes back. That's not a good example of it because you would miss. Basically, if you can find a slanted but not too slanted wall, I think like here could work. Yeah, you ride a little bit, and then you attack the back line. Basically, if you want to know what I'm pressing right click, pressing space right after it, just kind of scaling across the wall, E, uppercut. You can also cancel the E and uppercut like practically immediately before anybody can react. It's way too fast to react to. By the time you're already in the air, that's going to get slammed. So, here's a really creative one. If you're on a defense or attack, you could do a bounce off of this, if I can even time this right. Get up here, right? You wait for your cooldowns, go all the way over here, scale this, find your way right here. You sit here, you wait for your cooldowns, and then you're gonna press E, and you're gonna be right on point where people hide. There. You're gonna that one's disgusting, but it takes a lot of time to set up, and your team has to probably get in first. So if you're doing a solo queue type Doomfist and nobody's on your team, nobody's like listening on your team, you basically want to do that. And on defense, it's way easier to get here. You just set here and wait about 7 seconds. 7 or 8 seconds, and you can just scale here, press E over this. You can do this, but make sure you don't uppercut here, or you're gonna get stuck here and you're gonna get really confused. So if you're coming, hold on, if you're coming back from here, you're basically going to want to slam them from the side, uppercut them. Also, some on-point fights. So you're never going to really want to use your fist as a pick engage. Like, you're not going to get a kill and get out. Like, that's not going to happen. You can do that with old Doomfist because of his consistent hitbox, but you can't do it with new Doomfist because it's not a consistent hitbox whatsoever. So some on-point fights, these could work on attack and defense. Soldiers up here, do a bounce off this. You attack them this way or that way. Somebody's up there. Wait, you gotta get a little bit of distance if you're gonna do a bounce. Somebody's up there, you attack them that way. This one's a really weird one. You can attack them from here too, if they're, I can work on defense and attack, to be honest, if you get back here. Basically just figuring out a way, because a lot of Doomfist is pretty defensive, actually, so just finding a way to make those defensive engages offensive. Here's also another one to get a sniper. If a sniper is hiding up there, get on top of the payload, scale across this, and then it's easy. So you could be shot though. People's reactions at a higher rank are really keen. So you could try something a little bit more creative and go this. Hold on. I think I did that wrong. I think I gotta fly off of something. Maybe punch off something. Yeah, there you go, and then attack them there. So you're gonna want to think of something creative to do. Also, here's a really risky but creative one. If you have a Zarya or you have anything to protect you, shield CC, right when they come there, you can uppercut and you can sit here for a little bit. I think you can sit here for a little bit. Hopefully they don't see you, but they can see your shadow. It's really risky, but you uppercut once, press E off of this, you get a full one here, and maybe they don't react quick enough. You slam there, uppercut, then you just punch out, get healing, get a bubble, whatever you need. A lot of engages, a lot of your counters are gonna be just not a lot. Actually, your biggest counter is hog or pharmacy. Basically, if you have a pharmacy, it's not throwing to use an ultimate to get a high ground. It's really not. So like, if a pharmacy is chilling like around here up top, you can kind of do this, find your way over to them, uppercut, get it 2-3 ding, right? Once you get that uppercut on anybody, they're easily killable. It's all about getting that uppercut on somebody, whether that's punching, then uppercutting them off, or whether that's just doing a standard E attack and then uppercutting them. What you want to see, it really depends on the situation, but you really want to see that blue, because it's a way faster, a little bit less damage, but it won't really matter if you get that fast up and then in. If you're doing a rollout like these over here, it's not gonna matter because you're so high up in the air. It's not even where far has come from, right? You're gonna get the 125, and it's gonna be that burst damage. The idea is that you get behind them with that. That's what you want, at least. Just to get behind them with it. You can also do this this one on this point here. I think if you do a wait, hold on. That a lot of them are risky because you use all 3 abilities to get one, and you're thinking like, well, how am I gonna get out of this, or how am I gonna survive? I'm probably gonna die unless I have a bubble or healing or something, right? The idea is when you do a rollout that, like, let's say one of these, that you are stalled in the air from your E long enough to get your at least fist back. So like that would have been a bad one, but the one over here is probably it's a really strong one. It's a really strong, mainly because you can just wait for all your abilities back. You want to get a high ground where they do not expect, and you can get all your abilities. Also, if you wait 4 seconds, you get that bounce. You can get that little bit of high ground. Whether that means you want to punch straight off of that or do something with it, it's up to you. So moving on to this, it's only going to be one map. I'm just kind of explaining Doomfist on one of the easier maps for him. So Eigenwald's really cool because they have like these little bots here, and I'm pretty sure you can jump off of most of any of them if you time it properly. I don't think you can get off it. Yeah, I don't think you can get off that guy. He's too short. This guy maybe. Can't tap that way too soon. Alright. I know this one you can. This one you definitely can. You have to really time it right. You gotta get that really good. I need to practice this one, to be completely honest. Then yeah, then you can get an E up here, attack anybody that way. Also use Doomfist can move in 3 different ways. He can move downwards, E, upwards with the shift, and forwards with the right click, unless you switch your controls. So, no matter what, in any place in the map, you can get to that person. So if there's a Widow, it's your job to deal with it, no matter what. So whether that means you have to come up with something crazy, like do a little bit of this, that, and then use every single ability, that'd be stupid. But no matter what, you have the kit to get over to them. Whether you'll die or not is up to really how the Widow plays and how you play. That's not so much of the issue. The issue is just trying to avoid LOS as long as possible. So, let's say Widow's hiding right there, right? She's shooting from there. You hide from LOS here. I think you could do that. Yeah, you could do that. That's an interesting one. But no matter what it is, I think it goes safe to say that it is your job to get something that's at a farther distance, because no matter what, you can deal with it. Also, never use your shift to get high ground on an attack. On defense, if you're just sitting right here, right? Sitting right here, they haven't attacked yet, you want the high ground, go for it, like whatever, dog. But like you should not use it if, like, let's say you're over here, you're like, I want to get up to them, I'm gonna fight them. Well, now you're gonna have your E, right? You're up here, you're level with them, they can see you, you're in their LOS. Because like if you're in their low LOS, it's hard to hit. If you're in the high LOS, it's really hard to hit, mainly because you can't go all the way back. Like you can't do that fluid motion very easily. Obviously the very skilled hit scan players can, and that just means you have to be faster than them. But being above and behind is the hardest thing for anybody to like adjust to. Like if you're right here as a Doomfist, it'd be so difficult for somebody just to go, oh, right there, right? They can't just go that way. They're gonna have to look for you. They're gonna have to try to find you. By the time you're doing that, you could be so quick that it wouldn't even matter. That's what you want. That's what you want out of Doomfist, is that you have the mechanics to just get out of those situations. If I even have the mechanics to bounce off of this, there you go. And then that one was really late. Basically, if you're on a wall like this, and you're probably not going to land it, just spam your E, right? And if you don't land it, it's whatever. You have a shift to come back from it. Shift is also going to be your saving grace in a lot of situations if you're about to fall from an E. Also, don't do a blind D like this. That's really risky, mainly because you can get booped here, and you're going to have a shift to get back. But the better reason is that, like, if you do this, like, you could just fall off. Overwatch does not fucking care where they're gonna put you with the E. If they want you to go down there and you press E, you're gonna go down there. If I press E right now, I'm gonna go down there. They don't care at all. So the idea is that you don't use shift near those cliffs. You don't press E near those cliffs. You can. I did this to a Hog. Hog was playing right here, and to avoid falling in the edge, I think I did a bounce off of this. Pressing E that way, tilting, and then just hitting them off. Remember that air suck is difficult to everyone unless they have fuel, or basically this is why pharmacy is really bad, because they have fuel and what is it? Angelic Descent or something? I guess what it is. They could just slowly but surely survive those things. I gotta land this one to be specific. God, I fucking suck at this character. Okay, so moving on to third point, and to give yourself a little bit more of a insight on Doomfist. Some areas are not going to be as good. So there are some good areas here, right? If you want to play a weird defense, do this, do a blind D off of this, slam somebody. Never also get on this high ground, because I'm pretty sure like nobody will take damage when you slam here, right? So make sure you jump off, do the direct E or the blind E. The blind E will do more damage overall, but it's harder to aim and it's a little less quick. The idea of the blind E is basically to just, all you're supposed to do is use it when you're doing a rollout when nobody can see you. So you're like flying across fucking cliffs. You're doing something crazy, right? You're not gonna do that in front of people because it's extremely slow. You're already dead by that point, right? So there are a couple of ways to do it. When it's this very linear map, you have some hiding points. Basically, Doomfist are gonna want to hide and then burst out and engage. He's very fast, very bursty, right? A good idea here is to ult. You have your sit and check if people are here. Do one little jump and then E there. That's quick. You're gonna want to do that when no one's looking. So you can't be the first engager. You usually cannot be the first engager unless it's a rollout that has 125 damage coming out of it, like that, or almost like that, and you press shift off of it. Also, don't worry about conserving bullets. If you 4-tap somebody, you'll come back. You're gonna have all 4 bullets back. Or if you 4-tap somebody, fly over to them, do some crazy rollout shift, you're gonna have 3 already. You're gonna actually have 4 because 1 came back while I was shooting. It's not gonna not come back while I'm shooting. It could still come back. I'm pretty sure, right? I don't think there's a do that one. So that's how fast it comes. Let's see, hold on. No, there is a cooldown. Either way, you're gonna do some crazy rollout, and by the time you come all the way back from it, you're gonna have your bullets. So don't worry about like, put all 4 bullets into them, come all the way back, heal for your team. You're gonna have pretty much all 4, if not only 3 back, but 3 is enough to kill somebody. Do's and don'ts with Doomfist. If they have a complete counter roster to you, like Roadhog, Anna, McCree, those are probably, if they have those 3 characters, and for some reason they have Pharmacy as well, and like whatever other tank, probably like fucking Orisa, and it's gonna be fucking hard for you to do anything. But in my opinion, you should stay on Doomfist, mainly because it gives them a threat. And if your mechanics are good enough, they're all set up over here, right? You fly across, they're all going to start shooting you. Just use your abilities as bait. Like, stay on the character. Make them think that you're a threat. Like, become a threat early in the match. Then if you're just dying, like, let's say you die twice immediately, your team's to switch off, you're going to say, no, I'm going to bait, all right? We're going to get another DPS, a Pharah, maybe a hit scan, maybe anything, to just be ready to follow up on the people that are going to overextend, or the people that are going to do something crazy just to try to beat you. Also, a big bait to do is, say a soldier is following you, you're low HP, right? You do the jump. Make sure also to do a short jump like that. You press space beforehand. And then by the way, that is also the bait. You come this way, you make the noise, he thinks you're gone, you come back, you kill him. Okay, that uses all 3 abilities, but sometimes Doomfist is literally just somebody that trades, right? The only time you use Fist for hurting people or killing people is in an on-point fight when your abilities are coming back like crazy. He's also like one of the best stall characters ever, in my opinion. I think he can come off of like branches like this. Not branches, fucking fences, what am I saying? Make sure you time it properly, because if you don't, like, it's pretty bad. You waste the fist because of it. So practice the timing. Practice it all the time. This is probably the easiest thing to practice on, is this payload. Like, I was too late there. I hit it right there. I hit it right, but I think it was slightly late, but it was still good. I hit it perfect there. So like, I just keep practicing that timing, and you're gonna get it down. You're not even gonna have to say like, oh, now I'll hit it. Like, you can get it with a fluid motion without thinking about it, and you're just gonna get it. So keep practicing it. This payload hit this part of it. That's the best idea to practice the bounce. Pretty sure you can get bounces on other parts of it, but it's way harder. This is definitely the easiest part to bounce off of. Let's see if we can bounce off this. Not really. You can also you can make your own bounces, right? I think you can bounce off this. You can bounce off this. Time it properly. You can think of something. And also all you need is that little blue right there. So you saw it for a split second to be able to kill a healer without anybody doing anything. You don't want that. That's just a slow one. You're gonna die immediately. Don't get a shift to do it. Don't shift E, shoot, punch out. That's a horrible idea. You're gonna use shift. You're gonna use E. You're gonna slam them. They're not gonna be CC'd. They're not gonna be air stuck. They're just gonna push off the ground a little bit. All their abilities are back. They blow you up. The best idea on defense, especially if you're playing against like a pretty noob team, you could probably just do this and wait until their tanks are forward, then do a blind beat off, and then just shoot them, then get thread in between their tanks, go to your heals. But it's the attacking Doomfist that's actually way harder because you have to do these defensive strategies on attack. So you have to be very sneaky. You have to be very patient. You're not going to be able to just get away with literally whatever you want. It's going to be way harder than that. I think that's all I have to say. Practice your bounces. You can come up with your own bounces if you want. I'm not going to be jealous. Just keep practicing it. Get the timing down. Get the distance down too. Because like you can't be here and do it. Or I think you can. Yeah, you can, but it's really hard. So like this distance right here. I don't know what this distance is exactly. But it's like this is the distance that you're gonna want with it. Make sure you have distance. Make sure you have a lot of charge. I'm pretty sure if you're at this distance and you just tap it, like you're not even gonna get there in time. So make sure you have pretty charge. Tap it. Easy E. And that's all I have to say. It's all the tips that I have to give. I could do map specific ones like this. This was kind of a general one on the easiest Doomfist map, in my opinion. Controls are a bitch. Practice control maps a lot. Just keep playing. Practice your bounces is basically the biggest tip I can give you. Thanks.